Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Away Days episode number 49 now. Getting close to Big 5-0 next week. I'm back here with Nathan. We just discussed off air. We got robbed last week.
Yeah.
It was a great week for the channel on Thursday and Friday as Monday's views went through the roof and Thursday's podcast views went through the roof. But YouTube struck us down.
YouTube won here.
They had us. They've seen we done too well. Said just tone down, champ. Just relax. So thank you for all the support. I don't know if you're real. As I'm saying, I don't think I can think of. Maybe it's bots. But if you're real, if you're not real, appreciate all the support on Thursdays, especially. I think we're approaching 400 views. Believe it or not, even though it says 120, we were getting close to 400 views, which was awesome to see. So thanks for all the support at home. And we thought, why not? We'll come up with another banger this week. We've got heaps more content to talk about. The football's giving us a lot of content, so thank you to the leagues for delivering for us. Let's not waffle too much. Let's get straight into it. Starting in like most weeks now in Germany, my new discovery of the week, I feel like, let's label it that. My discovery of the week is FC Augsburg at the moment. So they've gone 3 wins on the trot. Another team that has not had Europe since, I think it was a 13 season when they actually got knocked out by you in the Europa League quarters or round of 16.
Yeah.
But talking like early Klopp days, I must know even before Klopp days.
That would have been Brendan Rodgers.
It's Brendan Rodgers days. So that's their last time. I think their only time they've ever been in Europe. And that was in the Europa League in season 12-13. They are a threat for the Conference League positions. They're currently sitting in 9th on 32 points, but only 1 point off Hoffenheim in 7th. And looking like that will qualify because of Leverkusen will probably... It's a cakewalk for the DFB podcast. So that should be another position available for Europe. So that's the good news story of the weekend. They go 3 in a row now. I think they're the most informed team in terms of points across the last sort of 4 games. So very impressive from them. It was an early goal in the 21st minute that got their win. Just another team that seems to be standing at the moment in Germany.
Seventh is Conference League, okay.
It looks like that's to be the because of how well Leverkusen will do. They'll qualify with the Pokal and the league position, so the other one opens up. So it gives them a chance. They're in and around it, in good form. Oh, you look at another team here, potentially might make a bit of history here going back into Europe.
It'd be good to see more of these teams just from the outside kind of come in, and even Conference League for Augsburg's ridiculous.
I looked at the ladder positioning. It's
how far are they off 7th?
1 point off Hoffenheim in 7th.
Oh, damn.
But it is 8 points to 6th place for Frankfurt. So hypothetically, if Leverkusen don't win the Pokal, you're going to be a problem.
Also, Leverkusen have to...
Yeah, because that is a European spot by winning it. So as such, if they win it, they open up a lot of conundrums. I assume they'll win it.
They should,
Who's qualified through. But we got another story here we're developing. Like we got Stuttgart going back in the Champions League for the first time in like 20 years. We've got Augsburg making potentially their second European appearance. It's exciting, the Bundesliga this season, because you've got teams like this that have gone on some strong runs. There's some underperforming teams. Look at Dortmund, who've sort of underperformed far this season. And I look back at Augsburg's just history in terms of the club itself. It was 17th, 16th and 15th the last 3 seasons. So we're talking about a club that's battled relegation.
They're like Stuttgart.
Similar to Stuttgart. And that's why I'm loving these teams. I'm getting on board with these teams. They're not as exciting as the Stuttgart might be. I really haven't found any there's no dominant side of their game. There's no defence winning the games or attack. It's just a team that's managed to put together some solid defensive performances recently. It's got them some wins. And you look at this Bundesliga table from from 7th all the way down to almost 12th, 13th. Isn't it? It's a few points in it. Talk about the Serie A and how that's sort of close for the European spots. Germany at the moment, the mid-table is a massive clump.
It's close in pretty much every league. I don't know about La Liga.
La Liga, I think...
But obviously, Prem's pretty close.
Prem's relatively close, yeah.
Bundesliga, Serie A, which is good.
It's good for us.
It's what we want to see. It's great for us. It's obviously what we want to see. But there's races going on across every league. Top 4 races, title races in some, but Serie A's gone. Yeah. Bundesliga, I think, is gone.
I think it's gone now. Yeah. Maybe La Liga. Maybe.
I mean, maybe. But that's just that's
holding a lot of hope.
Yeah, a lot of hope. Good on.
It's very interesting. That's to touch on it.
Augsburg, sorry.
Demirovic, the striker, he's shown for them 14 goals, 8 assists. So he's the real standout for them this season. Again, these strikers in these teams, you've got Garassi, even Harry Kane, obviously, but still Harry Kane's 30 goals. And these Demirovic guys, 14 in the mid-table.
A lot of good strikers in the Bundesliga at the minute.
Openda as well. it's just a lot of like out and out bagsmen in the Bundesliga, which makes it really exciting to watch. So I'll be keeping another keen eye on these guys as well now. I've got too many teams to keep an eye on now. Augsburg, Stuttgart.
I'm struggling to keep up here.
We're pulled in too many directions. Too many highlights.
Bologna, and I was like, okay, that's wild. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Now we're going on the fucking Augsburg.
Now we're really pushing ourselves. But hey, this is what you get here on Thursdays.
Exactly.
You get these
we are the intellects, and we got to live up.
We got to live up to it. I'll bring you one each week, a new team to get behind each week.
Next week will be fucking Monza. Or
something like that. Oh, well, we'll have to touch on that. They've got a massive few results. We'll stay in the Bundesliga quickly. Touching on the big boys now. Bayern Munich, they're the first team ever to have 4 7+ goal games. They beat, they won 8-1 in.
They beat Sheffield.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Obviously, there's no point in naming the team because it wasn't really a competition from the start, realistically.
Mine's for Paul.
13 minutes in, Harry Kane gets no score in there, and then you thought, goals. So the goal that they scored was a belter, that free kick. Just rolled the ball out in top corner. But you got Kane, Katrick, Goretzka got the double, which is probably his best performance in the last
season.
15 months, as it feels like. Muller, Musiala and Gnabry came back as well to score on the score sheet. So 8-1 win. They beat obviously Lazio last week. We didn't really touch on that as much, but are we starting to see a little bit of it was almost like a Barcelona type where the manager's going and the players just playing for their contracts next season?
I'd say Barca have turned a corner a bit more. And I think also with Barca's injuries, I think they've done extremely well in the past few weeks. But I just think Bayern, again, I don't want to be harsh on them or, just a hater because I'm not. Like, they've got some great players and Tuchel's still a good manager.
Absolutely.
But I just think, I just don't think you can trust them. Yeah. Especially some of their players. Like, obviously you got Kane up there, but if Kane doesn't score, Sane, Tell doesn't start for whatever reason. Goretzka had a good game, but is it just one of those?
Yeah, one of those ones.
Kind of, papers over the cracks in a way. So I don't read too much into the result.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of waiting and seeing with them. Yeah. It's hard to. It's 8-1. It can be. Liverpool beat Bournemouth 9-0, and we thought that was. Yeah. So these results just kind of happen.
They swing around.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see in a few weeks.
So they go. Champions, I guess, is the thing for them now. That's the only thing
you
feel like they can win. Obviously, out of the cup, they're out of the league in many regards.
Yeah.
I just saw one. I should touch on that a bit later, but is this like a case of like Eric Dyer got apparently I didn't watch the game. Apparently got a standing ovation at the end of the game as terms of like the fans were impressed with his performances. Is this a fact of like those sort of players needing to step up, you reckon? Or is it just to clean them? Because we've been big on just clean them out.
Yeah.
Or do you reckon maybe what's going to happen for them to progress is these players lift a level from being a B-Tech player to being an elite player, not a world-class, because we don't think they can get there, but an elite player?
Yeah. I'd say more just cleaning out.
Yeah.
We've seen not just like Eric Dyer, but these sorts of players like an Eric Dyer. Like, there's been a couple of years at Tottenham where that team in general was flying at the start of the season. Yeah, Dyer was playing well, and then it's just a huge drop-off. So it's kind of in his, not him, but that type of caliber of player. Yeah. It's in their nature to just kind of drop off and not have that, which is fine. Like, not every player reaches a higher level, like in terms of like Bundesliga standard, right? But yeah, I think they still need a full clean out, and I still stick by maybe guys like Muller and Goretzka just need to not necessarily move on, but in the bigger games, I think they need to have more quality.
Fade them out a bit.
Yeah. Fade them out.
Last thing, I touched on a bit on both Harry Kane and Muller last week. They continue to be very solid for this side, despite their being the older of the group. Kane now is on to try and break that Lewandowski record. He's on 30 goals and 6 assists as well. So we can't look at the assists as well in his 25 league games. Here's the stats. I got the stats this week. He's only played 4 hat-tricks in a debut season, and only UE Sealer has recorded a 30-goal season in their debut season. So he's continues to break records for the fun of it, yet his team just doesn't want to win.
It's nowhere near contention at the minute, it's just ridiculous.
It's got to be the Hurricane curse if they can't get it
legit. We've spoken about this. It generally feels...
He's done everything possible.
How can you get so unlucky? Like, Bayern win the league every year.
What is it, 12 years?
Yeah.
And the one year he goes...
The one he goes, they just fall off a cliff. And it just feels like the whole club's a bit
he off it a bit.
Yeah, just something's not right. I don't know if it's just like the manager. It's just the board's like just so negative about the whole situation, and probably rightly so. They're doing bad in the league. Champions League's been okay. They top the group. They're in the next round, but it's looked very not convincing. In a way. You know, Man United, they didn't beat them convincingly. It was just due to Onana that kind of got them
great
through.
Hands there.
Even Galatasaray took it to them, and
Yeah.
you know, I think they only got a draw away. But yeah, I just think it's just one of those with Bayern. They'll kind of just sort of limp through the rest of
wipe the season away and then sort of go again. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it'd be such a hurricane to do to break all these records.
Though,
and then 100%.
I mean, Champions League, you just never know. Like, it's over 2 legs. Harry Kane can just explode in one game. They've still got individual players that can, you know, that can get it done. It's just, just consistency.
Say their team on paper is probably
it's up there.
Arguably the top 3.
Probably the 4th best.
Fourth,
I
third,
think Madrid,
on their day. Madrid and City.
Inter and City are still ahead in terms of probably on paper.
See, on paper, I think Bayern seems better. I like Inter City more because they play better. But you look on paper, some of them compare their names.
Yeah, probably. I'm just getting mixed up with like style of play and stuff. So on paper, you're probably right.
Absolutely. I'd take Inter any other week. But if you just threw the start of the season all these teams in front of me and say pick order these ones, I'd be like City, Real, Bayern, Inter.
Of Kane,
Yep. But right now, you'd easily go Inter.
Oh, yeah.
Real, Man City,
like
and
the top
Bayern.
3 are just miles ahead, and then it's kind of everyone else.
Yeah. Who would have thought in my mind, it depends how I go tonight, obviously, Inter, but I'd probably have them as... I think I've shifted them to be my favourite now.
I'd love for them to win it. I mean, that's a really tough game. I know Atleti have been inconsistent.
They've been rubbish in the league.
Yeah, they've been rubbish in the league. They've been so inconsistent after we were sort of up and
a little bit, chance for them to push in, but no.
Yeah. But Champions League, anything can happen, and we've seen that.
They turn up for Champions League games, you know what Simeone does.
At home as well. If they start well and get an early goal...
Tough day for Inter. Tough day for Inter.
They got the players, they got the manager, they got the philosophy to do it, but it's just pressure and just different situations like that just changes ever so
mindset
slightly.
Of players and stuff.
Yeah, it does.
It's a tough one. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
I might manage to keep myself awake. I might give that a watch.
It's like 4 a.m, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a rough time to be alive. But I might, because I love it into football at the moment.
Yeah.
Switching places, we'll go to Spain real quick. Not much over the weekend, but Girona back winning again and convincingly winning. It's the biggest thing to touch on. They now, they're not going to, I think we all think they're going to win it because Barcelona think they've got a bit of momentum and Real. But it's good to see them not just sort of fall away to end the season off. They've got a performance here. Savio was really good in this game as well. Porto scored as well, but Man City got themselves a player. Is basically what I'm getting with this because Savio just has that ability. There was a chance he had as well where he missed. He put it over the bar when he slipped, but that direct running, drop it off, get it back, and I'm like,
that suits Man City to a T, doesn't it?
I think he's gonna be an upgrade. And
do you think he starts?
I think he's better than Doku. That's gonna be a bold shout.
Doku has dropped a little bit.
Probably at their best, Doku's probably the better player, but I feel like whenever I see what Girona are doing, Savio's at the heartbeat of everything, and he does it so consistently. I don't see him much of a drop off.
Yeah, no.
You check that in a City team with all the passing players around him.
He's been consistent, hasn't he? I think he's up there with goals, up there with assists. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely,
as well. So his output's great. Even just some of his runs, his forward runs are just unbelievable. You know, some of his crossings brilliant to Dovbyk. Imagine him crossing to Haaland,
ridiculous,
just ridiculous. So yeah, Man City have got one hell of a player. I don't know what the fee was. I think it would have been barely anything.
In the 30s or 40s. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, it's smart business getting a player like that in, and he's only 20?
How old is he?
I don't even know.
Savio
21?
is 20, yeah. 20, we're turning 20, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. So, another gem they've got.
Yeah, knocked it away. 8 goals, 7 assists, his 28 appearances. So it just absolutely does the job.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if Dovbyk had been firing a bit better towards the second half of the season, since we started talking about him, he sort of had a bit of a quieter patch.
A little bit.
I think you're looking at double-digit assists quite easy this season for Savio. So
easy, yeah.
He's had himself quite to the... And he comes up with important goals. I know a lot of late goals.
He's been unlucky with VAR decisions.
I know.
Did you see the one on the penalty? That is...
blatantly pushing in the back.
Another good week for VAR.
No, I call it classic Spanish refereeing. It's just... It's awful.
Yeah.
I don't know the Spanish. I think English referees are better than I look at Spanish referees, and I think
they're not much better at the moment with what I'm seeing. So it feels like every week at the moment, like whether it's Madrid, weirdly, even Barca have had a couple of dodgy ones. It just feels all over the place at the minute.
Never consistent. I feel like Germany's the only decent refereeing use of VAR.
You don't hear much from Germany. Syria,
just a questionable
maybe
ones.
occasion, but not as
but
much
not
as,
bad, like really bad ones. Yeah,
not absolute howlers like.
We've seen some howlers in the Prem in there, La Liga. Jeez,
we saw one in particular on the weekend, which
I've
gotten over it. I'm fine. So.
I've gotten over it. I'm in the referee place and I'm going to run that back. Yeah, so massive win for Girona, 2-0 over Osasuna. Yeah. I think they go back into second if I'm not mistaken.
They are second. I think it's still 6 points off Madrid.
Which is not, it's not ridiculous, but
it's just Madrid, isn't it? It's tiring chasing them. And
they've lost one game all year and they feel like they've slowed down. So they're on 69 points. Girona's on 62 points.
And how many times have they been 2-0 down and they just
Vinicius with a 98th minute? It's ridiculous.
They just find a way to even get draws. They're huge. When a team like Girona's catching you that doesn't have the experience, doesn't have the level of quality, it's hard to the money. It's hard to keep up. And I think Barca are a point behind them, which is
so
miraculous, to be honest, because
I don't know how
we were talking about them in a top 4 battle a few weeks ago, and now they're
still in a title race.
Still in a title race.
They could get a double if they put the Champions League out as well somehow. I'll get onto what they did last night a bit later on, but that was very impressive in terms of who was available. Yeah. So Real Madrid 69, Girona 62, Barcelona 61, Atletico have fallen away with a few poor results on 55. Yep. Then Athletic Club on 53, who I'm excited to see how they go. Yep. And then there's an elephant in the room, which we'll touch on a bit later on in the podcast about a team in the Liga as well. Yeah.
Good on Girona.
Good on them.
Hanging in there.
I want them to keep going all the way to the end. I don't want them to fall away. Yeah. All right, the big segment this week. Had the DMs, the holders last week. It's sort of timely we've started talking about La Liga because this is our top 10 central midfielders list. And I feel like I might start speaking a Spanish accent here in a minute because this is a very La Liga dominated list. Let's say that because
I've tried
my best, but
we've both tried to spread it out.
I can't ignore the fact that the best central midfielders, number 8s in the world right now are coming from Spain. So we'll see how we go.
This could be the end of me.
I have got 7 La Liga players, I think.
I've got 5.
You done well.
I've tried to spread it out a bit because obviously we could have 4 Madrid and 4 Barca.
You could easily do that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That is just fucking boring. No one wants to see that.
These are better than me. So you kick us off then. You always start us off. Number 10.
Number 10. I've got Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
Number 10. Unbelievable for Villa this season. Has double-digit goals. I think it's 10 goals and 8 assists or something, which is ridiculous. And I know he takes a lot of penalties, but still, you do have to score them.
Yep.
And he's been massive for them. He's brilliant on the ball. He can receive the ball in any part of the pitch. Yeah. He's just comfortable on it. And, there's times where he sits in a double pivot with Kamara. Obviously, Kamara's been injured, but when he was fit, they could sit in and defend brilliantly. They did against Arsenal where they scored the early goal. Yeah. Same thing with City. And he plays 90 minutes every single game.
Always fit.
Never comes off, always fit. And just a constant nuisance in there, isn't he? He's just brilliant.
He's a nuisance. That's a good word for it. Yeah, I had him in my holders list, but my number 10. This is someone again. I think I like to have a bit of fun with my number 10s a lot.
Yeah, you do.
This is someone I don't think anyone would expect. I got Leandro Paredes from Rome at the moment, who's produced some great performance under De Rossi. Someone that's probably the most pure 8 going around at the moment because he just is in the middle of that midfield there. Good coverage behind him. Under Mourinho, less expressive, but it feels like on the ball now going forward in terms of how Roma are playing their football. Someone that's really, really impressive. I think his average match rating is looking at just under an 8 match rating as well. So he's put together some good performances across the last few weeks. Someone that can easily go under the radar because he plays he used to play for PSG, he plays for the Argentinian team. You sort of just forget about him a bit, but he's played massive roles in all these teams he's gone to. And his Roma team could do something very special when it comes to how they finish the league season off, how they go in the Europa League. I just saw they battered Brighton in the Europa League as well. Yeah. And I think he's been an important part of it. Someone that, when I was looking through some of the names I was thinking about, I was like, this is someone that doesn't probably get the props he probably deserves this season, the way he's played. So a very multifaceted player, can easily drop in and be the 6. But this year where he's played a bit further forward, especially under De Rossi, I think a very underrated player at the number 8.
That's a great shout.
He's my number 10.
That's a very good shout. I like
there's
that.
There's my rogue one for the week.
I like that, because
yeah,
even at the World Cup he was big.
Very impressive.
And yeah, that's a very good shout. 9, I've got Frankie de Jong.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
I'm a massive believer in this guy. I think fully fit, if everyone's fit, I think he's generally a top 5 midfielder in the world. He's unbelievable. Obviously, he's had his injury troubles this season a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, he's been overplayed. Like, even as soon as he comes back from these injuries, he's playing 90 minutes. He never comes off. You know, his dribbling is brilliant. You know, he's comfortable on the ball. Even off the ball, like, his defensive instincts allows him at times to drop into centre back.
Yeah.
And obviously I prefer him as sort of a more box-to-box. He has sort of had to play a bit deeper this year.
Yep.
And that's one part of his game I would like for him to sort of add is a bit more goals, a bit more assists.
Yeah.
I think he's only got, like maybe a couple of goals. And I don't think he's got an assist this year.
Yeah.
So obviously he has been playing a bit deeper.
2 goals.
But again, he's press resistant. He's, you know, you can put him anywhere and he'll do a job. And you know, he's one that if you're the next Barca manager coming in, if you get him right, you sort of build your system, your midfield around him.
Exactly.
So
he feels like a Barcelona type player, doesn't he, with the way he's had so much time on the ball.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I feel bad doing this, but there's some newer players. But I'll go number 9, a personal favourite of mine, but I couldn't put him any higher, was Toni Kroos for me. Yeah. I know it's very low, but there's some players in some wicked form right now that I couldn't put below. If I'm talking about a career, man, him and someone else who I have very high up this list, they go up there as the greats for me. I think I so underappreciated Toni Kroos. That World Cup for Germany, ridiculous.
The goal against Sweden, I think it was.
Like, and the way he's coming back for this Euros, it'd just be a great story to see him take Germany to maybe a quarters or a semi, where the team does not look ready to go anywhere near that. But I feel like if anyone can do it, Toni Kroos better do that.
Yep.
Massive. He almost was like the fill-in player at the moment because of his old age and, you know, the fitness. But whenever he comes in, you're like, boy, this guy's incredible. I know Tchouaméni and Camavinga are good, but when this guy comes in, you appreciate this is a proper midfielder.
Yep.
And he's the definition of box-to-box. He can come back, you know, he can defend very, very well. But when he's on the edge of the area, I'm like seeing him whip those shots in, whip the ball into the area as well. A superb, timeless player for me. Yeah. Just a shame there's a lot of people in form at the moment that couldn't put him any higher. So he's my number 9.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. 8, I've got Barella.
Yeah, like him.
Been consistent at Inter for a number of years now, probably since they won the league under Antonio Conte. He's been up there as probably one of the top 3 midfielders in Serie A.
Yeah.
You know, whether he's playing with Calhanoglu, Mkhitaryan, Aslan, if they play him in there, he's just a constant threat. He pushes forward. You know, he's always pressing the 6 and getting the ball back. I think he had a huge chance on the weekend from doing that, pressing the centre back. And obviously, you know, Champions League final last year was considered as sort of the key if they were going to win that. Yeah. If he could play well, and obviously he still played well, couldn't get over the line. Yeah. But that, you know, it's just one of those. You come against a juggernaut in City. He's one of those players as well for Inter for a lot of games this year, last year. He takes games by the scruff of the neck. Yeah. And he just feels like he's going to explode, I think, in next year or the year after, and get fully recognised as one of the best going around in the world, because I still think he's. I mean, I've got him 8, which maybe is a bit low. Yeah, but soon. I think he's building nicely.
Absolutely. Well, I liked your Calhanoglu shout last week as a DM. I have him in my centre mids list at number 8, another Inter player. Yeah, he's done more defensive work this season, but in terms of the ability to go both ways, he's got the ability to be a box-to-box player, and how well Inter defend. You probably don't need to really have to be a 6 in this team. Yep. He's been superb, like superb. You know, just it's hard to put in a word, but whenever he's on the ball, it feels like he'll make the right decision, sort of thing. Like, and in number 6, that's so important. We look at Rodri, look at Rice, look at some of the best holding players, like the Busquets of the world. They feel like they always know the way to make the right turn, make the right body front. I feel like, you know, Calhanoglu has this from that experience playing high up the pitch early in his career. Now, you know, reverting back to a more 6/8 position, I feel like he's had so much time to make the right pass. His passing array is ridiculous. Solid enough into a challenge and vital in that midfield alongside Barella and Mkhitaryan, whoever ducks in there as well. So I think in terms of the all-round package, one of the strongest right now currently in the world in terms of
100%.
he can do everything. Love to see more of him, what he can do in the future there. But that's why I've got him at number 8 at the moment. But gee, I've been so impressed with his all-round game.
Yeah, his stats are mad this year. He has like 93% like pass accuracy and
he doesn't,
his tackling percent.
He doesn't miss a pass. I feel like it's always the right choice he has made. So I have a number 8, but I've been very impressed with him.
Yep. Again, it's hard. These Inter ones, again, they're in our top 10, which is obviously still really good, but you just can't. It feels wrong to put them so low down. Yeah, it's just some of the other names.
Form base, he's probably top 4 in the world, which is ridiculous. But that's what he is.
7, I've got Ilkay Gundogan.
Right, Ilkay down there. Yeah. Nice.
Obviously, maybe a slight drop off in terms of what we expect of him. And it's a bloody high bar we've got of him. But again, led City to a historic treble, clutch performances, clutch goals in just ridiculous games.
Yeah.
The FA Cup final, Everton, he did that like scorpion kick and the free kick. Always makes the right decisions. He kind of gets better as he gets older. It sort of felt as he first came to City in his prime, it sort of felt it was a bit slow. It was going to take him a bit of time. Yeah. But these last couple of years have been unbelievable. Huge for that Pep Guardiola side. And again, we've spoken a lot about Barca, how they have looked average a lot at times this year, but he's been carrying them through. Absolutely. At 33. And
prime age at 33.
He's been huge. And he has, I think, 10 assists and like 5 goals. And he's had to play maybe a little bit deeper at times, but still pushing forward. And he was unbelievable against Napoli this morning. Some of his passing is ridiculous.
That performance, one of a lot of them that had a great performance, but he's been ridiculous.
Yeah,
he's held that midfield together, I think, in many regards.
Big time. If he's not there, they're nowhere near this.
Christensen and Fermin Lopez, I'm not sure they're going to get through with.
Fermin Lopez, fair play to him. He's actually been
ridiculous last night as well.
But Gundogan's just the key.
Holds it all together at the moment.
Yeah, especially with all the injuries. So
definitely,
it wouldn't be easy for him. Like going from a City team that's always at the top to now a team that's
and runs so well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Barca's run like a shit show at the moment, so fair play to him.
Credit to him,
we're seeing the Barcelona trendy. I'm going with Frankie de Jong as my number 7.
Yeah.
Gee, you talk about maybe November last year, maybe he's number 1. It's crazy how a year can almost change things. And obviously as a United guy, we were so close to getting him a few times now, and I've been so keen to see what he'd look like.
Were you 90% club like Goldbridge was on De Jong? Were you in the 90%
Not
club?
quite there because it's Barcelona, but I wish I was. Wish I was that delusional. Boy, seeing up close and personal, I loved those 2 legs, United and Barca in the Europa League last year, and that was some of the best footballing I've seen in terms of like watching United and watching other teams play in a long time, or maybe even ever. That was just 2 teams probably at their 2 peaks over the last sort of 3 years almost, going at it. And Frankie de Jong was so massive at midfield. Another one that, when he's fit, you can know when he's fit and when he's not overplayed. Just, he's never too slow. He's always up to speed with the game, never out of the game, always involved. One-touch passes, transitioning, can play on the swivel. Someone that the vision as well is just those one-time passes in and out. The package, and you don't see many of these players. I think of him, think McAllister, even guys who can play with their head in the swivel and play those quick one-time passes, long balls, short balls. He's got the lot, and you're right. If it wasn't for injuries and overplaying, we would be seeing the best. I think. You look at he's so young still. He's still maybe came from Ajax as a leader, and he's come to Barcelona as had to become a leader because of the excess of players that have come there.
He's only 26. So
he's got and we'll look at some of the names of these midfielders here are quite older. He's got at least 10 years, it looks like, in terms of a midfielder, because they go forever, these guys. So he's my number 7, but could be a lot higher.
Oh, yeah. Probably should be, but it's just the injuries and just a bit of form
at the moment,
6, I've got Alexis McAllister.
There he is, the big guy.
He should be number 1.
Yeah,
but,
I wish he was number 1.
No, but, I mean, where do I even start? His last sort of 18 months has been just ridiculous. World Cup, he was unbelievable. Helped Brighton get to the Europa League. Many of the big clubs wanted him. United, maybe Arsenal were interested. Chelsea, obviously we got him at 35 million. He's been
ridiculous. 35 million.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. You could pay triple that, and you probably couldn't even argue it. He's unbelievable on the ball. He's had the start of the season as a 6.
Yep.
And I think now that's actually helped him because with 50-50 balls, or just when Endo's in a bit of space, he now knows where he needs to be to help Endo, and that partnership at the moment is it's just ridiculous. It's exactly. You know, he's been brilliant. He is brilliant. He's just, I mean, what's wrong with him? He's just brilliant.
I have a bro, man. I'm gonna have to buy a Liverpool kit and put his name on the back.
I know, he's quickly becoming my favourite Liverpool player.
My favourite player in the world at the moment.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
I absolutely love him. Superstar. Alrighty, my 6th player. Not quite the same love I have for him, but he's still a good, great player. It's Camavinga for me, number 6.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit lower down. But he's been important this season when you think of what he had to do. He's played left back. He's played in midfield. He's had to play deep. He's had to play as the more natural box-to-box type role. I think we'll see the best of him probably next year when they get Tchouaméni at the 6, and him at the 8, and Bellingham at the 10, an actual striker.
And Kroos and Modric, so maybe even if they don't leave,
maybe just one of them is there to just come off the bench. Like, that's when I reckon you'll see the best of him, because Ancelotti in his right so has sometimes played Modric and Kroos in there to try and give that experience and that control. But I want to see what he can do on alone when he's there alongside Tchouaméni, or even at the Euros. If he gets a gig at the Euros in midfield as well, France, I don't know what's going to go on there. He's a very, very impressive player. He's that lengthy, long sort of guy where he just feels like he can make a challenge from everywhere as well. Very solid on a challenge. Still want to see what he can do offensively, like pushing forward. I want to see a bit more in that game there. But for the job he has to do this season at Real, wherever he has to play, if he has to be in goal, if he has to, he'll do it. So fair play to him. Number 6.
Unfortunately, he just missed out of.
It's
just one of those. You could put so many Madrid. You can put all of them in.
Yeah, slide them all in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Top 5s now.
Top 5s. 5 have got Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, like it.
His past 18 months has not just been one of the best midfielders in the world, but one of the best players in the world. I think you could generally make an argument. His form's been ridiculous. Obviously, unbelievable at Arsenal, and was so close to helping them win that Premier League. And I mean, it's mental to say, but he might have gone to another level at Leverkusen.
Yeah, I think
on the ball, he's been probably even better. He's they're so attacking, right, with their wing backs. We talk about so much, but a guy in Xhaka, you expect him to maybe play a bit more defensive, and maybe he's not getting as many goals, as many assists, but he's still pinging them out to Gramado and Frimpong, and still helping the defence with Andric or Palacios, whoever's in there. He's sort of the heartbeat of that team, like not even that midfield, that team.
Like
he keeps them ticking. We saw when he didn't play in the Europa League, I know they made a whole host of changes, but when he doesn't play, there is a little bit missing in there, a little bit of just a bit of presence, a bit of, he's got that bit of aura about him. He actually does. So, I think easily one of the not only the best players, but probably the best midfielder in the Bundesliga by quite some distance.
Speaks for itself, really.
Yeah,
he's been superb.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5 is someone you mentioned earlier. I've gone Nicola Barella, number 5. Oh, this guy's because you think next 2 years, I think the Euros, everyone will realise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's good, because that Italian team, I think, is going to be very wing back and sort of like wing orientated. There's going to be a bit of problem in that midfield area. I think that's where they're their weakest, but this guy's going to stand. This guy's going to stand out. I feel like Barella in there, like in terms of you talk about heartbeats. He might be the heartbeat of this Italian team. I feel like he's almost plays beyond his age grade, if you know what I mean. He always plays like a real experienced later out there, like a 35-year-old that's seen there and done it. That's what the way he sort of plays. And you're right, he's pressing. I didn't pick up until you reminded me that pressing from the weekend as well against the Bologna side that was very comfortable in possession of the game. He was important in terms of trying to slow them down, slow their progression down, break them up a little bit, because second half it was tough going for Inter, but he kept them holding together. He's a workhorse as well. Just everyone on the pitch does not stop running. And I feel like, that jump you're talking about, or that jump in respect, almost not jump in performance, because we've seen it now for probably a year. That jump in respect, I think, could come in the next few months. Champions League, Euros, maybe start next season. You could be seeing a guy that's touted as one of the top 3, top 4, top 5. Number 8 in the world, because he's got the whole package. He's got a bit of composure about him, and that's the biggest thing for me. These players here who've all got, I just feel like they're so composed on the ball, and this guy's epitomises all of that. So, he's my number 5.
Very nice. 4, I've got Toni Kroos.
Yeah, Tony.
4. Yeah. I mean, I don't really need to explain too much. I mean, even this season, you know, this guy's looking at maybe retiring, maybe leaving Madrid. He still has like 7 assists this year, which is still, I think, equal second, which is still mental. And he's maybe playing a bit more defensive because he can't get around the pitch as he used to. But, you know, we often speak about players, their impact on the pitch. But I think off the pitch, I think he's doing unbelievable, like just wonders for Bellingham and Camavinga, and specifically that midfield group, that young midfield group that's coming through. You know, Brahim Diaz.
Massive.
Oh, what's the youngster's name?
Goulet,
him. So, again, on the pitch, off the pitch, doesn't matter. He's sensational. And still, for me, you can chuck him in and you know what you're going to get from him.
Just chuck him in there. You know, cooking one leg, he'll still put a performance up.
Exactly.
What a guy, Tony Kroos. Yeah. The proper football.
Oh, so good.
Alrighty. My number 4 is going to be Pedri, which might be harsh, but 3 and 4 I was flipping around with. But I think because of availability a little bit, because I know it's been recent, but it just feels like the guys pick up a lot of injuries recently. I feel like when he's on the pitch, probably, or maybe even the best. I just think Sokas isn't so quality, but I'm worried a bit about the injury problems, and we haven't seen the best any Barcelona player this season, but even him and De Jong, I feel like have had a bit of a drop-off from last year to this year.
Yep.
We can expect that with being overplayed and deformed the whole team, but there's levels this guy to come, and I'm still waiting for that. I think I have to go too much into Pedri. We all know what he's all about. Yeah. We talk about him every week.
We know his quality. It's just a matter of...
I'm worried.
And I don't have him or Gavi. And I originally did have them in this list.
Yeah.
Pedri and Gavi. It's just... Obviously, the injuries now, but we don't know what the future looks like for these guys.
Are they going to be the same player?
With how Barca run at the minute, they're going to be overplayed. And these injuries will keep on happening.
Yeah.
So... Are they top 10 midfielders? Absolutely, 100%, fully fit.
Yeah, get him in there.
100% they're in. They were like, I think 6 and 7 in mine. Yeah. But again, now they're obviously a couple of injuries, and we don't know what the future's.
It's worrying.
So, he's
these two. But unbelievable when he plays. Absolute superstar.
Number 3, I've got Modric at number 3.
Nice. Yep. Luka.
Again, similar to Kroos. I mean, Ballon d'Or winner. Unbelievable for his country. The amount of times he's pushed and carried Croatia to semis and unbelievable performances in the World Cup. Fully deserving of the Ballon d'Or, fully deserving of the respect that everyone bestows upon him, and he deserves to be in that conversation with Xavi, Iniesta.
Yeah, does.
These kind of players, and most people say he's better than Iniesta, and. That's
I wouldn't argue it too much. Yeah.
He's just unbelievable. And again, he has made a decent amount of appearances off the bench, but even when he does come off the bench, he scores goals in the last minute. In 80th minute, I think he scored a couple of weeks ago.
Really late.
A banger. And just a natural leader. Yeah. And someone that you can just look up to, and I don't think there's anyone that hates him or Kroos. No,
the most likeable footballers.
Exactly. They're just elegant, aren't they?
Yeah. It lasts with the dying breed of just pure, beautiful footballers. Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see how we go. Number 3, I got Ilkay Gundogan.
Wow.
Yeah, I got him on my hunt list. I love
that.
Ilkay Gundogan. I think arguably one City their treble in terms of, I touched on it on the Monday show. I used to always say February, March, maybe the Jansville was the months of Ilkay. Just pop up, he'd score important goals and big games at important moments. He did that last year. He did that the run in the years before for the titles. If he doesn't have these big games, maybe Liverpool holding 3 Premier League titles already. Like maybe Man United get a title during the COVID. Like he has these ridiculous runs where the guy doesn't just stop. He just doesn't stop scoring. And obviously we can't see that now at Barca because he's has to help out Christensen, who's a centre half playing it. And number 6 roles. He's had to play much deeper this year, but we still see the passing array. We still know he's a treble winner. Barcelona are turning it around, and it's been, I think, almost solely on his back, and then those younger guys like Kobasi, like Yamal, like Fermin Lopez lifting as well. But you'd be lifting because you're seeing what this guy is doing here. He was supposed to come here and just help out, assist a great group. He's had to be the leader of this group now because of the injuries and how it's all sort of fallen apart. So that almost adds to his regimen. As poor as Barcelona have been, because he's been so good, it's almost added to his regimen, added to his respect 100%. I've got for him. I probably could have put number one in the last season with the way he'd finish off there.
Definitely in the conversation.
He was definitely in my mind. Probably, I think I started him at number one and just like pushed him down, but absolute superstar and deserves it all. He's my number three.
Very well said. Number two, I've got Bernardo Silva.
He's where, see, I don't have him in this list, but
yeah, like a 10 or I've got him as list. For me, obviously he plays in that midfield three and he does drop in and help the defense. And I mean, his Champions League performance last year is the one that sticks out for me. The 4-0 against Madrid where he scored 2 sensational goals, and that was against the likes of Modric and Kroos and these sorts of players. And even this season, he sort of kicked on. There's been talks of a couple of City players dropping in form, but not Bernardo Silva. He's been relentless. He's been composed on the ball. He's helped out defensively. He always plays, and he's. I can't remember the last time the guy's had an injury. Maybe he's missed the odd game. Yeah, but he's just always fit, and he always plays at such a high level that sometimes we just kind of brush it aside because it's what we expect. But you can't ignore how good he is and how good he's been.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, I was telling Tony, but I think I might put him in my number 10s list. Yeah. But yeah, definitely, especially this season, you have to play a lot of different positions. Bernardo Silva. You can put him in a right wing list, you can put him in a left wing list, you can put him in a 10 list, an 8. So, he's everywhere. All right, my number 2, it's going to be controversial. I'm going to go Fede Valverde, number 2. Yeah. Easy to put him number 1, but I think I have him in a soft spot for number 1. So he's the next generation. We've mentioned a few big names from Real. This guy's going to be the next superstar at Real. Like,
I think he already is, maybe.
Yeah, basically he's that leader. He's there every single game, isn't he? He's the centre of that midfield 3. Whether he drops in, whether he pushes forward, he can be a right winger, a right back. Yeah, he's the army, like the Swiss Army knife in many regards. He can just do everything. He's got the whole package, and he's dangerous at both ways. That's the thing. All these guys have got. Yeah, they're good both ends, but they're probably better at one way than the other. But Valverde, I don't think you can say he's defensively or attackingly better than each other. He's the most balanced midfielder you can ask for, and he is the present, the future, whatever you want to call it. He is it because for Real, that screams captain's armband and just
for sure
titles and trophy lifts galore for this guy. He's a winner, he's a goal scorer, he's a leader, and he's just smooth operator. Bit of smooth operator about him. He just, when he's on the ball, the right decision's going to be made, and he's an absolute superstar. So he's my number 2.
Yep. And Fede Valverde is my number 1. Yeah. I mean, he's just ridiculous. He's so versatile. He's just so comfortable on the ball in terms of he'll take a lot of risks, but that allows the attacking players to be freed up in Vinicius and, soon to be Mbappe and all these guys. Which makes them look so good. And, obviously his versatility, he can play on the wing. He has done it a lot. But obviously centre mid, we know what he's capable of. His work rate, his forward runs are ridiculous. Storming. He created a goal on the weekend from running from the midfield into the box, and obviously it was an own goal, but because of his movement, it allowed that to happen. And, when Modric and Kroos, if they're not leaving, they'll be on the bench. But when you got a guy like him, you put your faith in him, and he's one that Madrid fans just get to adore for the next 10 years. Yeah. He's that good. He can play at this level for 10 years.
Ages. Yeah. Oh, superstar. Like, you lose Ronaldo, you get Vinicius. You lose Modric, you get...
Yeah, and like, another point, like, that Madrid midfield, we know it's stacked. Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, Kroos, Modric. And he's started, he's, I think, 26 out of 28 games in that midfield. The two that he hasn't started, he's come off on the bench, and that's probably been because of Champions League or other cups. Yeah. So it just goes to show that Ancelotti is this is the main guy.
I feel like he's the number 1 midfielder at the moment. He's that guy. Yep. My number 1 is a bit of a soft spot kept for Luka Modric. He's my number 1. Yeah. I still think he's underrated somehow. Even though everyone gives him props, I feel like he's so underrated because it's the whole thing of you won't realize what you've gotten to. You sort of lose it sort of thing, and with it all being tossed up of him and Kroos both leaving, I know you just mentioned all the names they've got. They've still got great names there. They've got youngsters coming through. They've probably got the next 10 years planned out with their signings. But these guys are just these are generations. This is beyond what we can comprehend now. Because when they leave, then you'll realise, damn, we really missed a Luka Modric in a Champions League type game. And that's what I think of. I think Luka Modric, I think Champions League. I think of big moments, massive plays, talk about like the Valverde type runs. What about when Modric with the ball at his feet, driving into spaces, opening up, playing the pass, and just composure personified. Yeah. This guy doesn't feel like he's been phased in his career. How old is he now? 36, 37? I don't think he's ever been.
38.
38. That's more to the point. Never been phased once in his career. For like
you wouldn't look at it. You'd think he's like maybe like early 30s.
No, exactly. And he doesn't rely on his pace or strength. He's just a smart player. And I think he has to go up alongside Iniesta and alongside Xavi
100%,
as just the leaders of that whole great era in Spanish midfield.
Maybe even better.
Maybe.
Considering just...
With what he does with Croatia.
Exactly. That's a country that, with all due respect, is not a big footballing nation as far as I'm concerned. Not. But, I mean, that era with him and Rakitic and Mandzukic and Perisic and straight all the itches.
Yeah, you know, straight to not forget that team.
You know, that team was brilliant, and it was led by the natural just leader in Modric.
Just if we're only running out behind a man, it's that man there.
Modric,
that midfield. I think we might be saying over the summer, looking at some of the best midfield trios, but
100%.
Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos would. We already knew they were ridiculous, but it's even more the fact they keep going at this old age they're at.
Yep, 100%.
Going to run over our names one more time for wrap this one up.
So 10 Douglas Luiz, 9 De Jong, 8 Barella, 7 Gundogan, 6 McAllister, 5 Xhaka, 4 Kroos, 3 Modric, 2 Bernardo Silva, 1 Valverde.
Leandro Paredes at number 10, Toni Kroos number 9, Hakan Çalhanoğlu number 8, Frankie de Jong 7, Camavinga 6, Nicolo Barella 5, Pedri 4, Ilkay Gundogan 3, Fede Valverde 2, and Luka Modric numero uno. That was I think that was some of our best lists we've done so far.
Good list. You can't
go wrong with some of the centre mids in there. Some of the veterans.
I had a few at DM that obviously you've got it.
I Douglas Luiz. Yeah, I Douglas Luiz last week.
Yeah,
I had Xhaka last week.
You had McAllister. I had McAllister this week. So
we shared them around, but
exactly same names.
Same names.
Maybe like one or two that obviously you had Camavinga and Pedri. Yeah, I didn't have.
Yeah.
But all good.
All good things out at the end.
Exactly.
Let's jump to Italy real quick. 2 games I want to touch on, 2 teams in particular, or 3 teams I want to touch on. Inter got a massive 1-0 win over Bologna in the fact that they were probably the second best team on the pitch that day. I think Bologna was probably the better team. Heaps, I think. Do I have the stats written? Yeah. I think I have the stats written down.
I'd say second half, Bologna definitely the better team.
They had 60% possession, 19 shots versus the 40 possession and 5 shots that Inter had. So Inter didn't have a shot on goal at all second half.
Yeah.
They just shot them out.
all over them. They just good goalkeeping, good just poor finishing a little bit. I think first half they didn't change the way they played. They out from the back, let's get the ball to Ferguson and obviously Inter did their homework. Barella was pushing up and Mkhitaryan and all these guys and deserved to go 1-0 up in the first half. They were the better side. Ferguson had some shots from deep.
Long shots, you
expect someone to save. But second half, credit them, they changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Just moved the ball forward a bit quicker. I think
the pace. That's the pace.
Pace. Again, they were trying to play it from the back maybe a little bit too much. They still did that in the second half, but it was more, let's one pass and let's go. Not play around with it a bit. But again, Bologna lost no fans during that. Second, you could tell at the end as well, the way Inter celebrated that. They knew they were under a lot of pressure. And
absolutely.
Again, it's just Inter just...
Machine
that's when it gets scary, when teams just grind out results. And that's why everyone fears City and Madrid, because they just find a way to grind out these results, and that's what Inter are doing. That's why
I'm really beginning. They might be my favourites for the Champions League now because of that result on the weekend, because many teams lose that game 2-1 or drop a point.
Yeah.
This team just keeps rolling. And you know what Thiago Motta said post-game? He said, we thought we were very good second half, but all credit to Inter because they didn't allow us to play how we wanted to play at time. They shut us out. They locked us out. And the best thing that comes from it, it's a good team when your centre-back assists your other centre-back. Like it was Bastoni to Bissek, and I'm like, well, hold on, did I say that right? Yeah. Bastoni's on the edge of his own area, whipping the ball in with a great flight of ball to the back post, the other centre half.
Exactly.
That's the team they've got. I'm not hearing anything anymore about Italian league being boring or slow. We've got a centre half on the edge of his own on the edge of opposition's box, whipping it to the back post to his other centre half. That's what Inter are. They're aggressive on the front foot. They're grinding out results second half when they weren't at their best, but Thiago Motta was right. All credit goes to Inter in many regards for not allowing Bologna to score and to make the most of that game. Yeah, Jan Sommer was involved at parts. He had some poor, attempts at goal.
Times,
I think Xerxes had a big chance in the 78th. That was disappointing. But, as far as it goes, I guess it's a win for both clubs. And you got Bologna know they can take it up to the big boys, and big boys know that
they've done it all year. Bologna, this isn't one-off.
It's not new, but it's good that we're seeing them take to the best. I think this is probably the best Inter all year. The fact that
100%.
They've won in the last 5 games in so many different ways. They've dominated teams. They've grinded out results. They've beaten informed Roma. They've gone and beaten informed Bologna, both away from home. I got written down they could break Conte's 102-point record from 13-14 with Juventus. Yep. They have to win, not lose one more game to draw it in the last 10 fixtures. They get one draw in the last 10, they actually beat it.
I think they got another hard game is it Atlanta? They got
Atlanta, and they got the Milan derby to go as well. That's the one I'm worried about.
It's just hard to see them dropping points, isn't
That's
it?
the best thing. How are you going to drop?
Yeah.
You got into Bologna, and the Bologna play the way they played, and you're not dropping points there.
Exactly. And it's even more scary, the fact that Bologna were obviously on top of them second half, but they can just win in so many ways. They can sit back and absorb pressure. Yeah. We got to keep it behind us that will save shots.
Yeah.
Shoot from distance, we'll accept that because we know we've got Sommer in behind us who's incredible.
Top 5.
But exactly. Yeah. Maybe, they can sit deep, but they can be so expansive. Their wing backs can get nice and high, and you have a look at some of their play. Alexis Sanchez looked done at Man United. Now he's starting in big games. Arnautovic is coming off the bench, and it's great coaching, but it's the players are just...
They're inside at the moment.
Yeah, they're
inside.
Like you said, the 2 centre-halves are... Bastoni's whipping in balls from left wing-back, and the other centre-backs...
Bang.
It's remarkable what they're doing, and again, it's going to be one of these teams that they won't get the full recognition that they deserve unless they win the Champions League.
Come on, Inter. I might have to buy Inter kit.
Even if they were to break Conte's record, I still don't think
they'd do it. Do you reckon they'd get the respect after they did it?
I don't. I think they'll get respect, but I don't think they'll get that elite level of. I generally don't, because I think teams look at Serie A and go, "Oh, Juventus are crap and AC Milan are inconsistent," but we're seeing teams like Bologna and how tight it is in that mid-table. It's not an easy league, but they're making it look easy, which is why people aren't respecting
credit.
it. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Roma beat Brighton 4-0. I know Brighton's had a tough year, but they're sort of a top 8 Premier League side.
Exactly.
You've got Inter potentially getting Atletico and beating that. Well, they're currently leading versus them. Let's just talk how it is. They're betting the 4th best side in La Liga.
Yep.
In many regards, they're playing at a... Well, they are. They've only lost 1 game. So name me a Premier League team that's only lost 1 game this season.
I can't even remember the game they lost.
That's the bad thing as well. It'd be a long time ago. It'd be towards the start of the season. They've got to be one of the most machine kits turning over sort of teams going around. Other than for Real, that's what I'm saying. I think right now I've always had Real, but I'm seeing what Inter are doing. They're doing what Real does, and they're more fitter. They've been together for longer.
It's going to be big. If they just need to get past Atletico Madrid. And I'd love.
It could be their toughest test in terms of to the final. This could be their toughest test.
Obviously, hopefully, I would love them to get a PSV or a Dortmund in the next round. I think they'll dismantle them, to be honest.
I would love them.
But knowing they'll get fucking Man City or.
I hope they get Arsenal and they just show to all the English biased people how clear they are of
I would love to see that, because as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal fans, I love the Arsenal team. I think they're great.
I'm losing love for their team.
But all the hate is because of just some of their fans just talk absolute bullshit sometimes. To be honest,
I want to touch on that later on about the Champions League, because for a team that's apparently all alone at the top of the Premier League, they really struggled versus third place and
obviously it's still a massive achievement. First time in 14 years, you've got to respect it. But it's not. Even their group was.
Easy.
Very easy. People have said it is a Europa League group.
Yeah, that's fair play.
Porto are third in
the
Portuguese League, which again is a tough league, but third again in a league that is between 3 teams.
Yep. That's
so you know, it's like me getting gassed over Liverpool beating Rangers fucking 7-1 last year, whatever it was.
When you battered them.
It's between two teams. It's you know, it's the Scottish League, so
different.
But yeah, I hope Inter can, you know, again.
I want to see them. I think they'll get the respect if they beat an English side. I think they'd finally do it.
I think that's.
So I hope they get like an Arsenal and just beat them up, and then everyone's like, oh wait, Inter are the real deal. They aren't just one season.
I think like what you said. I think if they were to get an Arsenal and beat them, and then win the league comfortably, which they will anyway. I think that's when. But even if they beat like a Dortmund, PSV, get to the semis, beat like a Munich. I still think if they beat Bayern Munich, they won't.
They won't either. Yeah, I don't think. I doubt that.
So it's either beat an English side
or win the thing,
and you'll get the respect, which is mental because they are incredible, aren't they?
Give me a Real Inter final. Give me a Real.
Just get Inter in the final.
I want to see my two teams go at it. Inter and Real go at it.
Make what we're talking about actual come true and
maybe
because they deserve it, man. They deserve. They've been consistent for a long time. It's just
4 years now. That title,
and they don't spend big.
No,
look
at their squad.
Exactly.
Look at their squad. Who they've got in the going around. Quickly again in Italy, Monza again, another team that seems to be a favourite on the channel here. They got another massive win over Genoa, late winner again. Maldini, 79th minute goal, just sort of pounced it inside the box. But once again, now they go 10th. They go into the top half. And the comparisons to the big boys coming in, they're only 5 points off Napoli in 7th. It's not ridiculous.
We thought Napoli, the revival of Napoli.
Kvaratskhelia is scoring goals, but they didn't win on the weekend. They drew on the weekend, obviously lost to Barcelona.
I think we said last week
League.
about Napoli real quick. Obviously, they got the big win against Sassuolo and beat Juve. I think that was the same week.
2-1,
and I think we both sort of asked, is this the turn?
Yeah.
And again, we sort of said, let's wait till the Champions League. And unfortunately, they just started off poor and gradually got a little bit better with the goal, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think Barca just kind of did enough to grind it out. And I think that's kind of the difference. Barca.
They looked like the team that had the injuries, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I thought they'd come out at the blocks like
I thought they would. Yeah, I thought they would.
Them,
but it was the reverse.
Other way around. Barca came out angry and they're snappy and into challenges and quick. And I thought this is not what I expected. It's the reverse of what I expected. Actually, I thought we had Barcelona going. They just wanted to be on the beach a bit and just get the season over. But no, Barcelona here to play, and they came and played. And
fair play to them.
Fair play to Barcelona. Yeah. So Napoli. Yeah.
Yeah. Monza's second goal. Holy! Did you see the second goal? The bicy.
What's that? We've had a few biases in the last few weeks as well. Who was it?
Garnacho's inspired a whole...
Yeah, the next generation,
Yeah.
Garnacho.
I know.
Inspiration.
Seeing Malin do it in the Bundesliga.
Maybe that's what I saw, yeah. But ridiculous for them. Like, I keep saying, second season in the league, 10th, 5 points off 7th, could get you European football. Like, I have to keep saying this. We've got teams here that are in form. Monza are in form as well. I think they're 3 out of the last 5 they've won.
Yeah, I think you're
something
right.
Like that. Yeah,
even against, I know they got smashed against Inter. I think it was.
Yeah, it was
4-1.
Yeah, at home they got
but again, they beat AC comfortably.
Yeah.
And they're taking it to the big teams.
Absolutely.
They are opening up a bit and trying to play. And I think that's one thing. If you're like the CEO, if you're part of that board at Monza, you're thinking like we're mid-table. And we're opening up and actually playing football. We're not 10th because we're sitting back and teams are getting frustrated. And we're having 4 shots a game and scoring 1 goal. They're generally scoring good quality goals, and they knocked in 3 against
Genoa.
Knocked in 4 against AC Milan. And even that Genoa game, like 2-0 up, horrible conditions. They get it back to 2-2.
Yeah.
Maybe just think, let's just settle for a draw.
Yeah.
Even if you lose the game, it's one of those where Genoa have all the momentum. But again, they managed to get a goal and hang on. And I mean, I'm excited for what they can do. Next year, can they continue it? Because it's hard. It's hard.
That's why you always either want to like get Europe for the money, or sort of just end the season just sort of falling away. Because like, if you finish 10th, the expectation would be to kick on again next season. And then it's
around that mark, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then it's like, but finishing 10th, they don't really get the money to try and push you on.
Yeah, they need as much money. Even if they don't spend it, it's just good for a club like that to have.
To fund it in, right?
Yeah.
Even
no doubt they'll be pushing for Europa League, Conference League.
Well, any Europe.
How far off are they, do you know?
So it's 5 points of Napoli in 7th.
And Napoli are conference.
And I'm pretty sure 7th is a conference now. I'm still unsure of how it all lines up
obviously
with
like
the 32 team stages, what's going on. Because every comp has it. It's not just Champions League. So I'm pretty sure 7th should get you conference football.
I mean, it'd take Napoli to fall off.
It would, considering how the form of some players turn around.
They have been. Could they be on the beach now? They're gone from the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen really want... They're not going to get top 4.
Do they want to be there next season?
Exactly. Do they want to be there? Do they want Conference League if they're going to be there? Is it just one of those where next year?
And Mons is just focused. I feel like just like you said, easily folded away from home, tough conditions, trying to enjoy the game 2-2. Then had another chance to go and lead the game. They got through that. They worked through that, and they just went forward and attacked the goal and got the goal. And
wouldn't want to play them if you're like a mid-table kind of team at the minute. Even relegation team. Looking at Montreal, second season in the league, maybe. Yeah. But you wouldn't want to play them because...
tough little cookie to crack.
Exactly. Tough little team to play. So good on them. Good on
them. Well, towards the end here, we're going to go with 5 players. This is a funny segment. I just feel like we need to touch because I love bringing...
fun segment.
I love bringing up the difference of the guys. So we're just going to go with nothing really special. Just about 5 players who've impressed us, maybe surprised us, or maybe something we want to get out there. I love chucking my number 10s and there's just different players. It's sort of that segment.
Yeah, I've gone quite out there.
I've tried some different players. A few I've mentioned already, but I feel I need to talk in more.
I've gone one from like each of the top sort of 5 leagues.
I've got
Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga, Liga, and Serie A.
I've got 2 Serie A and 3 Bundesliga.
I thought I'd just have a bit of fun.
Yeah. You're smarter with yours.
Yeah.
I'll kick us off this one.
Yep.
I'll go with my personal favourite, second to McAllister, Lewis Ferguson from Bologna. I'm putting him up there. This guy's stats, 6 goals and 3 assists, does not look impressive, right? But when watching the game in depth in the weekend, like the Inter and Bologna game, he's so important for this team because we always say they like to play in possession, can be slow at times, right? But everything past halfway, I feel like it has to go through Ferguson, whether it be him finishing the long shot or him breaking the lines with a pass or making the run to draw defenders out. You can tell he's pretty highly, respected in the league because he always gets a lot of attention. The captain, the club, still very young, 24 years old as well. So could get a big move in the next few years if he keeps performing this level. I've just been so impressed with his all-round game, his leadership, and his ability just to make things happen for them in the final third. 6 goals and 3 assists. It's still impressive.
He's
but
not afraid to shoot, is he?
No,
he scored the great half volley.
That was a great goal.
And even against Inter, I think he had 3 or 4 long shots.
Fizz past the post. I was like, he's getting into his zone. But someone that's just a joy to watch, I feel like, because he will score a few of those long shots and he will make some great plays. So he's a player out there. I'm loving it at the moment.
I like that. This one is fucking rogue.
He's gone with...
So I'll start off with the Prem player. I wanted to pick a player from Wolves.
Right, yeah.
Because of how good they've been. I went with Mario Lemina from Wolves.
I love it a lot.
Now, I could have gone with Aiton Yuri, the left back. He's been brilliant. I could have gone with João Gomez. Obviously, the obvious one's Neto.
Yeah.
But I think he's held up that midfield so well this year. And when he hasn't played, whether they've played, Bellegarde or, João Gomez and Tommy Doyle or whoever, I think, there's a little... Not a drop off, but there is a bit of presence that you feel isn't there, and I think that's Lamina and whoever he plays with, whether it's any of the 3 I just mentioned in Bellegarde, Doyle, João Gomez. He's absolutely brilliant, and he's come up with some big goals, big performances this season in particular.
He's head and shoulders above those names as well. That's the thing, in terms of quality, just
So
big. That's a good call. I like that one because I'm a big fan of him as well. Staying in the Serie A, I went. Something we've touched on a fair bit, but I think still doesn't get his props yet. Paulo Dybala just...
Yeah, I was very... Wow. Yeah, he was very close, but I thought you would have it.
Yeah, there's a lot of bromance to have at the moment, but he's definitely high. 12 goals, 7 assists. I feel like he's running the league at the moment. Whenever I watch Roma, it's him pulling the strings, bang, pass, or scoring some weldy finishes he's had in the last few weeks. Come alive under Daniel De Rossi, was a great player before with Mourinho, but just like a different level. We said last week up to that sort of Juve type early days with Dybala at the moment. I think he's averaged a 7.7 type performance in his last few games in terms of performances. Roma, we just touched on them in general. Battered Brighton in the Europa League. Brighton put all their eggs in that basket. They were king of that game. They went and dominated them. Paulo Dybala's part of that squad. He's part of the squad that's turned the season around looking for a top 4. maybe even in an ideal world top 3 finish in the league.
Yep.
He's been so important, and he scores important goals, makes important passes at important times. You can't really train that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Some people fold under that sort of pressure. He just thrives under it. And when you need a leader on that pitch there that's might not always have the armband on, it's the perfect man to turn to. And what a free sign that's going to turn out to be in the end, because he's going to give another 2 or 3 great years, I feel like, at Roma if he continues to put together these type of performances. We could be seeing a 15-goal, 10-assist type season. And
maybe, yeah. What's he on? Is it 14?
12 and 7 in the league.
12 and 7.
Yeah, I think he's got a few more, Europa League. But if you get 15 and 10 in the league, 25 goal contributions.
Very good.
That's getting you in top 5s in most leagues in terms of, players in that season. So he's another player in there for me.
Very nice. Over to La Liga. I've gone with Lunin.
Yeah, what Madrid. A shout. This guy.
Like, unbelievable season. And considering, the defence that he's had in front of him, it's not the traditional Real Madrid defence. It's been Tchouaméni, it's been Carvajal slotting in at centre-back and Camavinga at left-back. And it's been a bit of a shuffle in there. But some of the saves he's made have been ridiculous. I mean, he's saved so many, like, sort of guaranteed goals that you would expect to go in. And for a number 2 keeper, the fact he's only 25, I think he is 100% deserving of starting at, a lot of clubs in the world.
The biggest club in the world right now.
Exactly. Yeah. But being, obviously he's got Courtois as the number 1, and he should be coming back in the next couple of weeks. I think he was listed in their Champions League squad.
Travelled, didn't he? Yeah.
I think so, something like that. And some of the saves, Valencia, the one with his feet. Las Palmas, I think it was, where he got down at his near post.
Yeah, they all belched at him as well.
Ridiculous saves. And obviously being Madrid's number 1 for most of this season, Madrid fans would have put a lot of pressure on him because you're playing for Madrid, right? Yep. It doesn't matter if you're a number 2 keeper, if you're coming on the bench in the 85th minute, it doesn't matter. There's so much pressure, and he's so deserving of being a number 1 at most clubs.
I can't think of Liverpool, Bayern, maybe Inter. But outside of those big boys, who walks into every other team right now, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's not even that bad with his feet, but he's a shot stopper though. This is the thing. And
again, there has been maybe the odd mistake this season, but Alisson makes mistakes.
The best make mistakes.
Exactly. Courtois made mistakes.
Yeah. So. I always touch on the Henry comment, or I'm trying to touch a lot on the Henry comment from maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago now about Bellingham and the pressure every single night playing for Real Madrid. Feel for this guy, because Kepa was brought in. Kepa obviously did it right, but again, folded on that bit of the pressure that Real had. Injuries, left, right and centre, people underperforming. He has to come in and continue this team going in the right direction.
Yep.
He has missed a beat. So, fair play.
Brilliant. Yeah.
One of the best shouts, I think, so far. A bit of an obvious one. My third player is Sergio Guirassy. 21. I mentioned him last, 21 goals in the 19 appearances. Stuttgart a third. They're basically got Champions League football. I've touched now a few weeks now. This is almost historic for their club. So he's leading the line for them. He's so important for them. Again, another bags, man. It's just Bundesliga guys know to score the goals. And the fact he is pushing Harry, he's not like right up him, but he's still pushing Harry Kane in terms of he's always up there. He's always scoring when Harry Kane's scoring. Goes to show how good this guy is. Does he get a big move maybe in the future in terms of just like a backup striker at a big club that just knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, times his runs well, can be a physical presence in the air, great finisher as well. There's a lot of them in the Bundesliga, but I've been so impressed with him. The fact he just kept going, he hasn't really had a bad patch, it feels like, yet. And I can't wait to see when he can finish up with 25, 26 goals in a year. Very good year.
And compare the service that a Kane would get to a Guirassy. It's Guirassy would get only a couple of chances, but he's so clinical. Whereas Kane will just constantly get.
I've seen him miss a few big chances again, Kane. So
exactly. So 100%. I like that. Now over to Paris. I've got
he's gone
a man that you have mentioned, I think, a couple of times. I've gone with Zaire Emery.
Love him. What a player.
Yeah, unbelievable. The breakout year for sure. Yep. I think he's 17, 18?
18 now.
18, ridiculous.
18,
he's starting most games. I think they've obviously been managing his minutes and understandable. Whether he's come off on the bench or he's played maybe 75, 80, they've been managing him, which is what a club like Barca should be looking at. Should be doing. And the partnership with him and Xavi Simons next year, again, it's going to be so fun, so exciting. And obviously Mbappe is leaving, which is a sour note for PSG and the fans. But having these youngsters come in, it's gonna just be. You might not progress to a semi-final of the Champions League, but at least you can see a vision in your club. Like, yes, we got 2 poster boys leading our line for the next 10, 12 years.
Good. Even Gonzalo Ramos at number 9, you got Xavi Simons at the 10, then you got
Kolo Muani's in there.
Zaire Emery at the
Dembele's not getting as injured as much as he used to.
I think if you add another winger alongside
improve that defence a little.
Core. So, yeah. Very exciting. I actually might finally watch PSG then.
I know.
Xavi Simons and Zaire Emery together. That'd be great fun to watch. All right, I got 2 more Bundesliga players. My 4th player is Nathan Teller.
Nice.
From Leverkusen. This is the guy because he won't get any recognition even in the Bundesliga maybe. Coming off the bench, only made the 3 starts in the league this season. But this guy's... He reminds of a Chicharito for Manchester United in terms of he comes off the bench and he's going to make a good impact. He presses, he's quick.
That's very nice.
And he's a guy, like obviously Grassi's naturally in the position. This guy, you don't think he's a positional type player, but he just finds a way to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yep.
And we saw the impact he made starting against Bayern Munich. I feel like he'd be a big player for this Leverkusen team to keep because you progress, you play more competitions, you keep winning, you keep going these unbeaten runs. He's right-sided forward at heart, but he can play him down the middle or play him in behind the striker. So multifaceted. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface of what this guy could do.
100%.
I want to see what he can do with the ball at his feet for 90 minutes, not just 20, 25 minutes.
Yep.
But with the service that Wirtz might continue to give him, or Xhaka in behind there, Palacios who can push on. Obviously the wing-backs. I'm excited to see what he can do because I think next year could be a cool, cool season to see what he can do. He might get more minutes, but start more games. There'll be a lot more competitions. So, very excited to see what he can do in the future. That's an unbelievable
shout. Big goals he scored this year.
Massive goals.
Big goals, yeah.
Huge goals.
Yeah, very nice. I like that a lot. I've got next one, Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, what's that for?
Milan.
What's a player?
The fact that this guy's 37 and has, I think, 14 goals and 9 assists in, I think that's all comps, or that might just be in the league. I don't know. I think that might just be in the league. Is just ridiculous. Third in the goal scorers chart, and I think equal top in the assists, which is just mental considering the inconsistency that this Milan side has shown throughout, not just this year, but sort of throughout the last couple of years. And, Virgil van Dijk has come out and said that Olivier Giroud has been one of the hardest opponents he's ever had to come across because he just always finds a way to score. He's brilliant at bringing others into play with obviously his ability to hold it up and, one of the most underrated strikers of our generation probably because he's not flashy, he's not fancy. He scored some incredible goals.
I must say, he's got some great goals.
But he's not known as this kind of flashy kind of player, but he's crucial for France in the past, crucial for Milan and Chelsea and even Arsenal. He's probably won them a couple of FA Cups back in the day. So
big player, big top player. 12 goals, 8 assists, by the way, in the league. So 20 goal contributions in the league. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Again, it's supposed to be a retirement home, but everyone's turning up in the Serie A. My 5th and final player is Ian Maatsen. Nice. Only did 1 goal to 2 assists, but he created that goal against Union Berlin, winning the ball back and getting them going in the right direction. So he made the 9 Bundesliga appearances, but this is one of those players I'm pretty sure, I'm going back now almost 12 months, start of the season I touched on a few players that I was keen to keep an eye on for the Premier League. And Maatsen was definitely one of them because coming from the Championship with Burnley, we saw how high and wide he got. He played basically as a winger, he's doing what Grimaldo did basically doing now, is getting high and wide, facilitating for that really young, pacey Burnley strike force. And it feels like that's what he's being allowed to do now at Borussia Dortmund. I still like him as a wing back. I think the wing back is where he'll do his best work.
His calling, isn't it?
That's where it's going to be. As a winger, he doesn't get the ability to go up and down and be extravagant and push things on and use his pace to his advantage. I think as a wing back, obviously not the best defensively, but we see it in these days. You set a back three up that are good, solid back three, like Inter, like they do at Leverkusen, and you've got a field day for this guy here. Yep. His delivery is going to improve over time. I think it still needs to improve, but I still think it's one of the best sort of facilitation in terms of the wing backs. I think the sky's the limit with him. We want to see him play. Just let the guy play. 100%. And I think, like you said last week, Borussia Dortmund would be dumb not to sign him on the permanent because Chelsea wasted him. I feel like I've disappointing to play for Chelsea this season, considering what's happened at that club. It would be a great opportunity to see him go and play for Chelsea, but I'd rather him be at Dortmund and play week in, week out and produce because he's going to do that.
So the fact that he wasn't playing at Chelsea and then he's just hit the ground running at Dortmund just goes to show the guy's got serious
talent.
talent.
Yeah.
So 100%, I like that. Bundesliga,
There we go.
Leverkusen player,
There we go.
of course, Tapsoba.
Yeah, good.
All of the, again, you've mentioned Tapsoba in the past as well, but a lot of the talk's been about Hincape and Tar as the captain. But this guy at right centre-back has probably been just as good. You know, when he's playing at right centre-back and with how high Frimpong gets, how much space he would leave, Tapsoba just covers it all. And they're part of a back three that's only conceded 16 goals in the league.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous the way that they play. And again, he's physical, big unit. I can't remember the last time I've seen the guy lose a 50-50 from what I've seen. Hardly ever loses it. And just, again, like a lot of Leverkusen players, because we focus on Grimaldo and Frimpong and Xhaka and all these guys, Wirtz, you know, he's gone under the radar.
Slide along the radar. Superb players in there. I like that. It might be a segment we do every sort of
that was a fun
4
segment.
or 5 weeks. Might whip that back out because what do I call it? What should I call it? The education corner. We're going to come and educate you on some players that are doing their thing amongst the big leagues.
Yeah.
Now, once again, we have so much to talk about, so we've run out a bit of time here. But I just want to go over what went on in the championship once again. A weekly championship quiz rundown type thing. Little snippets for you English guys at home. Leicester continue to struggle. They drew 2-2 to Hull. Jamie Vardy was being his biggest shithouse in this game here. Yet Wolves,
he has beef with every club.
Absolutely,
in England.
the Wolves fans were, the Hull fans would give it to him though for minute 1. So fair play. Once again, Valtface had a bit of a stinker. Got the ball nicked off him from Zaruri. Carvalho's doing decent work.
Yeah, he's good.
At Hull. Could get a little call back there.
Maybe. It'd be hard under the new manager.
I don't think he'll fit the new of Xavi Alonso. I don't think he'll fit.
It'd be good for him to get a look in, but I think probably needs just another full season loan because it didn't work out with him at Leipzig at the start.
Championship, the best place for these guys to go and produce.
But it'd be good to see him at Liverpool.
Absolutely. Keeping at the top, Ipswich lost to Cardiff in one of the most ridiculous games. Once again, the championship bringing us the best games of the weekend.
Mental, wasn't
it? Watching this back, I'm like, there's no way. They go and do it in the 10th minute of 8 minutes added on. So for you guys at home that are, they scored 30 seconds over the 8, it's minimum of 8 minutes added on. Ipswich went and conceded in the 10th minute of added time, all right? End of story. No longer this debate about Real and Liverpool, all right? Simplify.
Where's the same media coverage for that there was?
Where's
Liverpool?
Ipswich angry people?
I thought we were going to have a fucking another world war with all. Jeez, just a drop.
Wales versus England, Ipswich versus Cardiff. It's going
to
There you go. See, grow up, people. Who was it? It was O'Dowd right there. They're two guys that are the scrappiest things of all time. Just scrambles in the. That's why you love it, right?
It's championship, right?
The commentator nailed it. He's like, "That's probably love football." And I'm like, "That's it. That's why you love football." Late winners at Cardiff. Cardiff now in contention for the playoffs now, which is
just
good
hanging
to see.
around, which is what you got to do.
53 points. They're into 10th, but only 5 points off 6 because
exactly it's
just bulked up like there. And then at the bottom end, Stoke picked up a win against me. Stoke beat Preston 2-1.
I thought you were talking about Ben Mee for a second.
Ben Mee, Preston was saying they beat Preston 2-1 away. Again, a massive game for them. Another late win as well, 87th minute. Luke McNally, the centre-back, basically just had the ball bounce off his toe and into the net. So, classic championship goals of the weekend from the goal line. With that all being said, this is how the table looks because
massive
this weekend has made it
Ipswich
amazing now.
Yeah, massive opportunity blown for Ipswich.
Oh,
they even just got a point.
Yeah.
I don't know about goal difference. I think there might be...
Here we go. We've got Leicester 82 points. We've got it, and now Leeds going to second after they keep winning. They're on 79 points. They've won 4 out of the last 5. Ipswich on 78. Southampton with a game at hand. I'll play tonight.
Yeah, because we spoke about last week how they had a game, but then the fire.
Exactly, they ruled that out. So they're on 73 points.
Yeah.
But obviously can make that gap only 2 points on Ipswich. Then you got the Baggies, West Brom, Norwich, and Hull, who probably take the point, but they'll be disappointed they couldn't get a 3 versus Leicester. Coventry beat Watford. Watford sacked their manager again. Tom Cleverley's in charge of Watford now. You wouldn't believe it. Tom Cleverley's gone for player to captain. They're in 8th. And when Stoke winning, they go 3 points to clear the drop zone, which are Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, and Rotherham.
Yeah.
And to finish us off, our team, Almeria drew again.
I thought they were going to do it, For 78 minutes, it looked unreal.
They were great.
The streak's over. It's like The Undertaker or something, But just
They find a way to bottle
even
it.
the Luca Bacchio scored for Valencia. It was such a weird goal. I thought it was missing, but Sevilla, sorry, because Sevilla.
You didn't.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it was going to go in, and then it did. It was like, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
And then once again, it's the pollen effect of just again, it's happened.
Yeah.
Concede, and then good on them for at least getting the point.
Of course, get an equaliser as well.
But like, just come
4
on.
draws in the last 5 games.
That's yeah.
So they've got like a third of their points in the last 5 games.
Atletico Madrid, they did well. Barca, they did well. Madrid, they were
there with Madrid.
Has there been a more unlucky side ever in the history of football?
Probably not, but I'm thinking now it's not luck. They're just cursed.
They're just garbage.
Yeah, some witches put a curse in these guys, and they're just I'm not sure what's going on.
I think if you put Harry Kane in that team, they're still winless because it's just a curse, isn't it?
Double down. They might have a draw again if they.
So again, the bet goes on.
We could be here last day of the season. Me in a Liverpool shirt, you in a United shirt. I'm going to have to change to be an Arsenal shirt because I actually like Liverpool more than like Arsenal.
Yeah, no,
I'm a Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, no. Most
people would
kind of have. We got an Arsenal on here. Yeah.
I really want to see Liverpool win this league title. By the way, we're going on a different topic.
I mean, at this point, would I rather see Almeria win or Liverpool for a quad?
It's a balance of what you want to see in life. It's a moral question.
I mean, it depends. I mean, do you guys want to see me in a full kit? Or
do
you want to see me sitting here with my sunnies on with 4... I'm generally going to bring in like 4 trophies and just sit here like the biggest smug shit if we win. But no, it won't happen. So, one will drop, whether that's the league or just,
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. But it's still on.
It's on. We're going to touch on Champions League stuff, but you just don't know what's happening. Fair play to us. They got through. Real got through last week. The big ones, obviously, tonight, Inter versus Atletico.
Yeah.
I'm going for an Inter 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1, and they get through, and then 2-1 aggregate.
Yeah.
I think they should get through.
I'd like to hope so. Don't release this if they...
Nah, we'll just cancel this. We'll cancel this podcast.
Because, it'd just be such a disappointment.
It'll be tears. Yeah. It might be tears. There might be a therapy session next week on this show.
Honestly, they might.
Yeah, it might just sit here for 2 hours.
Might not come in.
Might maybe just sit here for 2 hours and just blankly sit here and just...
It'd be such a disappointment.
Give us reality.
I think that might be... Inter going out might be worse than Liverpool losing to Madrid. I might just be...
Whoa, he's going big.
In terms of like just how...
Significance of what... undoing the good work almost.
Yeah, because like obviously we got there and it was like, okay, it's Madrid. Yeah. But them losing so early on would be like...
It'd be tough. It'd be very bad.
Yeah. But hopefully...
It's all to look forward to.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Next Thursday will be as good. Yeah. Even better. Thanks for the support, by the way.
Hopefully next week will be... I think will be a much closer...
On the 10s, oh.
Much closer list. Yeah. I think we'll have very
proper
similar
number
lists.
10s, yeah. So a big name was missing this week in the 8s. We'll get him number 10s, by the way. We know what we were missing.
Just again, as I said, just on the DMs,
in due course.
Don't hate on us.
In due course, it's all coming.
Exactly.
Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on here.
Yep.
Follow 5 Stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give it a listen as well. YouTube, stop hating on us. I'm sure we're at 380 views. When I checked, I'm sure we're like 360 2 days ago. It's down at 120. Whatever. The bots keep botting. Keep watching. If I appreciate the views, we'll take that. Yeah, keep subscribing, by the way, as well. The numbers are very good at the moment.
Yeah, very good.
I appreciate it. And fingers crossed, if life doesn't get in the way, we should have all 4 of us on the couch for next Monday. For the 50th episode, I might try and get some fun game. I might just do games rather than just like
actual
recover.
Talk. Yeah. Because there's no Prem on this week.
There's some FA. We'll just have a bit of FA Cup. We'll do a Champions League chat, and then we'll just get in some guess who's and stuff.
Are you doing anything for Liverpool United?
I don't think so. I always say I do, but then I end up the weekend just...
It's Sunday 11.
Gets over the top. So. We'll see. We might have some watch-along stuff
Just do a live stream at the sports bar or something, Just
take a vlog camera. We'll just sit there and see how you go. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming on once again, man.
All good.
Should see all 4 of us next Monday night. Or it might come out Tuesday, depending the way it all works out. But... Get ready for years to be blowing up next Monday with all of us there.
It'll be a lot of waffle.
A lot of back and forth yelling. Liverpool corner and the Arsenal corner there. It'll be very, very interesting. Thanks once again, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend's football action. Enjoy the Champions League as well. And we'll see you for more great chat next week. Until then, guys, see you later.